Hi there, just popping in today to talk about the very important Pluto retrograde. So we've had all the planets in direct motion for not for long, maybe a couple of months, and now the first one of the big planets is moving into retrograde motion. So we know that with retrogrades, when a planet moves retrograde, it's all about doing the inner work. We go within and we look at what's ever going on for us inside of ourselves that we can then transform, heal, release, do something with in some way. So because Pluto is all the planet of transformation, when he goes retrograde, it's very much looking at where we're stuck in that slave mentality. Where are we denying things? Where are we ashamed of things? Where are we keeping secrets? Where are we not revealing things? Where are we sort of, it's often very much about your sense of self-worth and self-love. You know, those things that you're burying within you that make you feel bad about yourself. And so often these are things that you've made up in your own head, you know, ways that you've interpreted things that have happened to you and what they meant to you, and therefore have told yourself you're stupid because of it, or you'll never be happy because of it, or whatever it is. You know, Pluto is the planet of transformation. So the transformation he brings is from being the slave or the victim into the mastership. So Pluto also rules Scorpio, and we've recently had a big full moon in Scorpio. So that really sort of triggered this retrograde energy as well, because by the time the full moon was occurring in Scorpio, Pluto was already stationary, getting ready to move into retrograde motion. So this is a big deal when the big planets go retrograde. We have to do the inner work. And the thing with Pluto is that because he's the planet of change and transformation, if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, if we're not doing that transformative work, which he's already nudged you about and already sort of knocked on the door a little bit and said, hey, this needs to be done. This is a weakness or a challenge or something that you're not working on or working through. If you haven't accepted those nudges, if you haven't seen those nudges or reacted to those nudges, then he will rip the rug out from under your feet quite quickly and quite swiftly. So while he's in retrograde, this is a lot more apparent that this could happen. So it's really important during this retrograde that we all go within and really look at where it is that you're holding yourself back. You know, is it a way of thinking about yourself? Is it something that you just don't believe about yourself? Is it you've got no worth on yourself? Or are you stuck in something where you just feel like this is where you're supposed to be and this is where you need to be, but it might not actually be where you want to be or where you feel is the best place for you to be? And too often, you know, we push these things down and we bury them because we don't want to deal with them. And this is where Pluto comes in. It's never little insignificant little things that we're hiding from or we're burying. It's big stuff that we don't want to talk about, that we want to deny, that we're ashamed of, that we just don't know what to do with sometimes. And so it's just easier to bury it all down. So the challenge with this in Aquarius, one of the things that's going to come up the most because this retrogrades in Pluto and Aquarius is any feelings or beliefs you have about yourself that make you feel that you're not good enough, that you don't fit in, that you're a bit weird, that people don't like you. If they really knew what you would like, they would never like you. All of those sorts of things, those dark, deep thoughts that we bury down inside of ourselves that then start damaging us in some way. So a lot of stuff can come up during this retrograde. So the thing is to allow it to come up. I mean, the natural thing to want to do is to bury it right down again and not deal with it because that's what you've been doing for so long. But it's got to come out. This is a wonderful time to just let it come out. And the thing is, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be peaceful. It's not going to be calm. It's going to be full on because that's what Pluto does. And the world is in a very full on state at the moment. And we can see everything that's being released at this time is stuff that we don't need. And so, as we're doing it collectively, as we're doing it globally, we now need to do it personally. What are you holding on to that you do not need anymore? That does not serve a positive purpose in your life? That does not bring you the joy and the happiness that you deserve? And it's time to be aware of this, whatever it might be, and do something to let it go or transform its energy into something that you do need. To go from being a victim of something to being the master of it in every way. So this will be hard work, this retrograde, but it's kind of the hard work that's worth doing because it will bring relief, it will bring freedom, and it will bring that transformation and that sense of empowerment because you know you're putting yourself first and you're doing what's right for you. So I'll be back again to talk to you again soon. See you. Bye.